on stage. We have the props, we have the fake blood, everything.
Anytime you see blood in our videos, Maisie's made that fake blood usually. Don't know what we're going to see on the documentary, but a little bit that we've seen so far is fun.
Hi there, welcome to another edition of In the Chair with Cupchairs interview series. Today we are in the chair with members of Drawn Dagger. We have Maisie and Lewis. Maisie and Lewis, thank you for joining me. I appreciate your time.
Thanks for having us.
Hey, thanks, Hannah.
Uh, right off in one of the descriptions of the band, it's emo, alt, pop punk. But I was looking at the new album, A Guide for Apparitions, and just the song titles, Castle, Necromancer, Apparition. Like that's not usual pop punk emo fare. Can you talk about how the band formed and what it seems like a very unique direction for the genre that you're playing? How did that come about?
So we started writing music together a while back. Started writing acoustically, and then it was always going to be a full band. And we're really into different kinds of theatrics. We really love Bowie and Misfits and Mike M, and that's the kind of stuff we grew up listening to. So we always wanted to bring that into what we do. That's kind of how the sort of albums always come about. Really into mysticism, that sort of lots of different things we were drawing from the last EP and then into this album campaign. The titles were really just us trying to put some sort of creative shackles on. So we tend to write to briefs or something, because otherwise me and Maisie in particular are like tons of ideas going a million miles a second. So we said at some point when the album was getting made, I can't remember when it was, Maisie, you might, but we were like, what if we just stick to one word titles? Because we really enjoy long Fall Out Boy-esque titles, and we've done that in the past as well. But I think because it just kind of felt right because we were going for quite a long album name. I think that's what we did, Maisie. Is that right? Is
Yeah,
that
and I think with the whole album being a concept, we kind of wanted every little thing on the album to tie in. So we were like having every song title as one word. It's just like yet another sort of like rule to stick to. It was very like a lawful album of like these are the rules and we will stick by them. And we kept making up rules for ourselves for no reason, but it worked out.
because a debut album can feel really daunting, I think. So we were like, if we've got set rules, then there's procedures, then it's safe. It's okay. We do know what we're doing, honestly.
Yeah, I love it because in this era, singles are so much more the rage than full albums. So the fact that you have a concept and the one word titles to me remind me of chapters of a book, uh,
Mhm.
more so than just here's 12 songs.
Definitely, that's definitely the way we were sort of envisioning it, really.
That's cool. My wife is a big pop punk fan, big emo fan, and I'm a little more metal, like Dio and Iron Maiden. So when I came across Air Drawn Dagger and was preparing for the interview, hey, it's both of our genres melded together.
I love Maiden so much. Steve Harris has got a lot of explaining to do with why I play music. Yeah, so like their concepts and everything, it's just so cool. It's just so good. And there were so many times when we were referencing, we were in the studio and we were talking about something like Iron Maiden or D&D, and we're like, is that 2D&D? We're going like down the whole. Are we into like proper far like fantasy metal world now? Do we need to rein this in a bit? And like, 'cause it's just probably not something we do well. So there has to be a certain line somewhere that we don't cross before we become gore or something, something out too far.
So, in writing this album, did you set out to go with those themes? You talked about building rules, or is that kind of what you do in your free time? Do you just read fantasy novels or play different video games and things on the same themes?
The first album for me was always going to be a concept album. So before we wrote any music, any lyrics or anything, I kind of wrote out the story just to get the idea of what was going on in my head, made all the characters and everything. So yeah, we really set out for album one to make it a concept album and to like really bring the story to life. And we wanted to do that with not just the music, but the music videos, all the branding, stage shows, everything has all been developed around the concept.
The videos for the first couple singles, they're just gorgeous.
Thank you.
Did you are you part of the production vision for that, or do you have a separate arm of your promotional front doing that? How involved are you in the video concepts and creation?
Yeah, super involved. We work with Aaron Mackenzie, who is from While She Sleeps, but he's also an amazing director. So I work really closely with him, and he thankfully trusts me with a lot of the production of it as well. So and thanks to the guys also for trusting me with a lot of the production of that. So yeah, we're really involved. We like making the props from scratch ourselves, and we get our mates involved. Anybody who's in the videos is already just kind of like mates of ours. All of the cast and crew and everything. So yeah, very, very DIY.
Yeah, we couldn't be more involved in our videos. Anything rigging and lighting and just holding lights up for hours on end. That's us doing that behind the scenes. And any time you see blood in our videos, Maisie's made that fake blood usually. Say 9 times out of 10, you've physically been in a kitchen making some sort of syrupy concoction for you to then
It's like
vomit.
homesteading, but music videos.
Yeah,
That's
exactly.
fun. Is it corn syrup and dye? Is
Yeah, yeah, like
the
corn syrup,
recipe prepared?
dye, corn flour, yeah, just a mix. And we've done fake guts before, we've done intestines, like yeah, it's crazy. And then whenever we have to like actually outsource it and pay for something, we're always a little bit like gutted because we love to just be able to do everything ourselves, but sometimes our skill level is not it.
Yeah. Oh, that's really cool. I love theatrical performances with artists, and it. How much of that do you take onto a stage? Are you the band that leaves the stage just with stuff all over because of the performance, or are the live shows kind of clean in comparison?
No, we really do take the theatrics on stage. We're very tidy though. I feel like we're very much clean up after ourselves. But yeah, we always have as often as we can, we have the characters with us on stage. We have the props, we have the fake blood, everything.
Yeah. Uh,
My favorite bit is when you make the fake blood and use it on stage, but it's really thick because it just hasn't come out the normal way. Blood spill out your mouth and letting it go down you. It's like really, it's like custard, really, and it's just sort of blobs out. That's the best. But yeah, we do clean up a lot. We have got better at that over the years, I think. Because again, it's just us usually. We'll be getting a broom. We used to do it with confetti and stuff when we'd pop cannons. We used to sort of like then get the broom and tidy up because, the venue staff, they don't deserve it. So
I was in a band for a while that was kind of a Bowie Queen. We had lasers and costumes and everything, and the singer had feather boas, and
yeah,
and he was very active with them and all of that, and so there would be feathers
yeah.
everywhere, and we did our best, but man, picking up feathers off of a beer-soaked stage is yeah, glitter is also maybe something to avoid if you're trying to clean.
Yeah, we really do avoid glitter. I feel like we learnt that so early on, just like glitter, anything with glitter, absolutely not. Like even outfits, no glittery fits. It's
We've learnt the boa lesson as well, haven't we? We've done that before a little bit. Like an after party DJ thing, and then the studio that our own space is just like covered. I'm still finding them, and it was like a year ago. It's boas. They look incredible, but you pay the price. Yeah.
Yeah, there is a I do a lot of work with a local theater, and one of the directors there referred to glitter as the herpes of theater because it never goes
really
away.
good.
Uh,
Accurate. Yeah. That's
that's
good stuff.
funny. Uh, what I really noticed, one of the first things on your website is it looks like how much you embrace fans, referred to as the Church of Dagger.
Mhm.
They reminded me of Gaga has monsters. Uh, you empower your audience because they're a member of this thing. Can you tell me about the Church of Dagger? How did that come about?
It was kind of self-fulfilling, wasn't it? Where like that somebody called themselves the Church of Dagger, and then we kind of just like ran for it with it from there. So
It's
yeah,
quite an organic thing. I think someone said it to us after a show or something. How it was quite a cathartic show. There's lots of high energy. Everyone feels a nice release afterwards. Or feels like a religious experience or whatever. This is my church or something like this was, and then we just kept it. We were like, that's exactly what we're going for. So yeah, it's sort of built organically, which is nice.
That's really cool. I noticed that the band also has a Patreon. Have you found that to be helpful? I'm guessing even though you do a lot of DIY, you have a lot of props. There's a lot of cost associated. Has Patreon been helpful?
Yeah, 100%. Yeah. At first we were a bit sort of worried like do we have enough time to put into this? But we realized because we were making it was just before the campaign started for the album and we were building these videos and doing these things and we had people like willing who wanted to get involved. So we were like, oh, this actually kind of makes sense to have a pool of people who like supporting us that we can talk to about this stuff and we can they can be on the inside a little bit. Not fully, don't want to ruin the magic, pull back the curtain too much, but they can be like the testing pool when we've got new stuff like the documentary thing. We were able to tell them this week earlier before everyone else and give them first dibs on tickets because they're really limited. So it was being able to reward people who are investing in what you do is great.
That's a perfect segue to talk about the documentary coming up. I think by the time this interview is released, it will have just passed or be right around that time. So, uh, but the release date is Thursday for Conjuring Apparitions.
Yeah.
How did a band go about getting a documentary made about them?
Yeah, that's the in-person date. So that's going to be the live premiere. That'll probably be the first time we see it properly as well. So we mentioned the team we work with. Tom Payne, a really great like director now, and he works on a lot of our videos, and he's our videographer. This is his first documentary. He wanted to take on a whole project around us because he's been working with us for a couple of years now and he wants to take that step and he thought this is the perfect excuse really. So he came to the studio with us, lived in the studio with us and filmed us slowly unraveling into madness while we were making this debut album. So we're excited to see what that looks like. Bit terrified because we don't remember a lot of it. It's just kind of feels like
No. But I
so.
do trust Tom. We trust Tom that he will have got rid of anything that was terrible.
Yeah, but just to keep it interesting, there's got to be some embarrassing moments or just some raw footage, to show what it really is like. Uh, that
Yeah, we have like full days that we don't remember. So I think there's gonna be some times where we just watching it and we're just like, what were we doing? What was going on?
It's like amnesia. It's like we're there. We remember being there, but we don't remember what happened when we came out with an album. And a lot of it we were writing whilst we were there. So Ross was like doing drums in the live room, and me and Maisie upstairs finishing like top lines, lyrics, melody stuff, and being like, "Is this good? Is this good? We're recording it tomorrow." Like the pressure was on. And
We
I
had like
think
8 days, which was it was a really intense 8 days. It was like a I was gonna say like a marathon, but marathons don't last 8 days. So
if
it
you
was like
really
8 marathons.
bad at marathons, they can take 8 days. Really suck at running. Which which great metaphor for making the album.
We really suck at making albums.
Oh
well,
yeah, so it's a little bit of a blur. Don't know what we're going to see on the documentary, but a little bit that we've seen so far is fun. So
Let's find out together.
yeah, that's exciting. So there's the in-person release. Will it be available online as well, just on your YouTube or
I believe that Patreon will get first dibs at a certain point. They will get, as the, it's what it is. And then yeah, eventually, some point this year, hopefully, it will be making its way on the internet for everyone. Um, yeah,
are
should
there
be
any
fun.
plans to submit it to film festivals and things like that? Or
The beauty of this project is he's the director, so like we are kind of have to be hands off, which is quite new for us for a band that's quite DIY and involved in everything. This has been a learning curve, I think, a little bit where we have to be hands off because doesn't apart from us being the subject, doesn't really involve us.
Yeah,
So
nothing to do with us. He just filmed us. We were doing our thing and he was there.
weird, it's a weird project to be a part of in that sense because we're so used to being involved. But hey, yeah, maybe, cans, who knows? Oh, can you imagine? That'd be awful. Our faces everywhere having breakdowns, going, is this chord good? Is it shit? Is it good? That's
But
basic.
it's hard.
that'll be funny. Like, oh my God, it's famous. No.
It's a call in. It's going to be like a whole Firefest thing. Maybe they'll re-edit it so it's like one band who couldn't play in time.
Oh,
Rude.
that's really exciting. I've always wondered about just the bands that have, feature films, Doors, Queen, just whoever it is, it's got to be really wild to see, in that case, you have actors playing you and portraying storylines that may or may not be accurate. But this will be you, but it'll have a story arc that you don't know.
Yeah, yeah, that is the big part of it, actually. That's the bit that he's still like finalizing and editing. He's like, I want to make sure all the stories thread. And I'm like, oh no, stories? Oh, narratives? What? I don't remember any of this.
No, this
So,
is this is exciting. I can't wait to see it now. Just to Yeah, I mean that would it seems like a dream project that especially because you don't have to do a lot of work for it. It is something that's
yeah,
going on its own.
yeah, it just gets sort of brought to us, and we're like, there you go. That's what you did. That's how you made that album. But yeah, I don't know. It's a weird one. I don't know how you stop it either, because then he's like, where do you end it when the album comes out? It could still be ongoing because now we're living in it. So yeah, it drives me crazy doing something like this. Like I wouldn't know when to cut the project off, you know. It's the same with songs and stuff. Like we need producers to be like, you're done. Stop layering things. Stop adding more, because I think
Yes.
otherwise carry on.
Yeah, somebody's got to say too much or you're done, or else it will never finish. Um,
Very much need adults in the room, otherwise, you know.
so the album came out earlier this year, and you have a few singles out. Um, how did that tie in with live performances? Had you taken a substantial break from playing live while you worked up the recording, and now you're playing live more now to promote it?
No, we didn't really stop, which is kind of nice, but it was kind of crazy as well. So we sort of made the album, and then we're touring the last EP still. We had like summer festivals and some. What else did we do? We did like UK stuff, like sort of bits and bobs all around last winter. So that whilst we were making the videos, we were still touring and doing stuff and squeezing them in. So, you know, we were fitting it all together. And then I think, if I remember rightly, Maisie, I think we kind of had a brief stop because we knew the album release show was going to be a big one. So we didn't
Yeah.
really the new year. So it allowed us to just focus on like video rollout, singles, promo, press, rather than tour. So in a
So
way, a break.
we did our Lead Mill show just before we went into the studio as well, which at that point was our biggest show. So that was crazy because we had like a few weeks in between from like Lead Mill and actually going into the studio. And then yeah, since that we did our album release show at Corporation, which was it's now our biggest headliner, and that was the most fun. And then yeah, we've done after that we've done sort of like like say the UK tour, we've done Glastonbury, we've done Radar Fest. So yeah, we've just kind of been like a bit non-stop.
Yeah, since then, yeah, all the gigs, any gigs we did like try not to do, we've definitely made up for since then.
Yeah, that is those are some fantastic gigs, shows, festivals, things like that. How has the new album impacted you've reached a much larger audience and now you have a new piece out there. Have you seen more people in crowds that you haven't performed for before singing your songs back to you? Are you seeing a lot of that?
Yeah, definitely. We went out on tour with Hillisine and we saw that a lot. People like singing the new songs and even the Corporation show was like the day after we released the album and people were already singing tracks that weren't singles. And I'm like, how have you learned the words already? Like I barely know the words. How have you guys learned these so fast? So yeah, it's been crazy and we're like super grateful that people have taken it on because we were a bit like maybe no, maybe it's like, what if nobody takes it on board because the EP before that went down really well. But yeah, the reception's been crazy and yeah, we're just really, really stoked.
Wow. What extent has your touring reached? Are you uh, hitting, beyond the UK, throughout Europe? Have you come over to the US? Uh,
We Yeah, so we came over to the US just before COVID, just on a complete DIY tour, just because no one else our size gets to do that, and we really just took a punt. We had like we got randomly got a gig offer in like LA, and we were like, yeah, and then we booked a tour to get in a van for like around that. So we did a West Coast run before COVID, And then this year we're going over to Europe to do a run where we've never made it over yet. So this is the album is taking us over there in a way, and hopefully loads of other places. But we'd love to get back to the States. That'd be a dream to go over and play some more shows.
Yeah, how is that DIYing from overseas? I know just booking any tour to new cities, it can be hit or miss. You know, the venues sometimes work well, sometimes don't. And trying to pull a crowd the first time is always challenging. Uh, did you find yourself on bills where there were already audiences, or were you having to scratch and claw to promote and get people out?
Kind of both. Like we were sharing really diverse lineups with tons of people, or like kind of mini day festivals is kind of how it would work over here. And like really great sort of like underground kind of punk communities a lot of the time. A lot of them, some of them were DIY shows, some of them were like the Viper Rooms, where it's like really legendary venues and you're on a mixed band bill. Where you got loads of locals there, and it's kind of a mix. Every show was kind of completely different, really. Yeah, again, one of those kind of bizarre, surreal experiences crammed into like, 2 weeks or something where we just got in the van. It was really hot and sweaty. You get used to drinking a liter of cold brew every day because, America. You get used to those things, and yeah, I think we were just caffeinated so much. Everything's a bit. We had the shakes, and the shake show was different. I think. Is there anything missing there, Maisie? Is that how it went? That's how it
No,
feels.
that was exactly how it went. Yeah.
Shakes, cold brew, crazy DIY shows. That was it.
There, lots of desert,
Yeah,
tumbleweed. Yeah.
you nearly got shot by bike. In it, there's an alternative
Yeah.
universe buried in the Nevada desert because you nearly got shot.
Yeah. But I
Or
didn't, and that's what's important.
nearly get shot, should have got shot. There is a
No,
difference.
no. I think
No,
I should have.
maybe not. Maybe though, because you did. Maisie kicked bikers out of their own bar. We were playing this dive bar in like Vegas, and it was really late at night. We didn't think the show was going to happen. Eventually, the band who was bringing all the gear turned up. We went on very, very late. We were very drunk, to be honest, because we thought the show wasn't going to happen. And we were making a real racket to get people down to the front, people coming in, and you were like, you can get to the front or you can get outside. And a bunch of bikers got up from the bar and went outside. But in an alternative universe, you got shot.
Yeah, wow. I'm glad that didn't happen. That's
Thank you.
Wiley, could you see that happening? Do you think, as somebody on that side right now?
Oh, absolutely. No, no, my friends who have toured in metal bands, especially, well, punk, metal, I mean, it's all kind of the same venues. And
Yeah.
some venues are very tough with very tough locals who don't care at all about you being on tour or whatever. So
And
yeah,
that's fair enough. But when you're like 5 watermelon margaritas deep, it's just hard to like register that. So
uh, that that is something. No, I've had one show. My wife and I started an acoustic duo when the pandemic hit, and started playing shows with that. And uh, we we thought that we were going to be first on the bill, but they went ahead and switched it to where we became last on the bill. And so we just watched the rest of the bands, not realizing how much we were drinking. And then like, oh, it's wait, we've been drinking 5 hours and we have to go play. And luckily it worked out. But
Pull it back. Yeah.
oh,
Pull it back right.
and watermelon margaritas can just go straight down. They just taste like candy.
they're in a massive can as well. We don't have them over here. So it was a novelty at the same time. And they're delicious. And they're
Mhm.
in this like we don't even have cans that size. So
Don't
like
see
my like English brain couldn't comprehend it. So I just kept drinking them. I was like, I've only had like 5 cans.
No, that's a good lesson. When you're in a different country,
Yeah,
you don't necessarily know how that alcohol will affect you the way it will with stuff that you're used to drinking.
you're telling me.
Lesson learned the hard way, Science, science, hey.
So,
What do you know?
so aside from you have the documentary coming out. Are you working on additional videos for singles from the album? Are you done with videos for now?
Think we're done with videos for now. The problem with having our team, well, we're such a tight-knit team, there's always ideas and there's always suggestions because we can't stop doing things. So I think music videos might be done for this campaign. Other kinds of videos might arise throughout the year. Um, yeah, we've been like filming a lot and we make a lot of content that just takes time to like get made. So maybe it could look like live stuff, it could look like something else, but there'll be more stuff released from us, and then new stuff at some point. So yeah, we don't really stop. So there's always going to be things coming out quite soon.
No, it is
Because we
fun.
love it though, not because we don't know how to stop. It's just that we really love what we do. So we carry on. And like Lou said, we're a very like tight-knit team. We're all mates, and we've kind of just got to a point where when we've all got free time, we don't hang out anymore. We just like make stuff. So it's a blessing and a curse. But yeah, we love it.
No, there was a interview with Questlove,
Mhm.
the drummer for the Roots, and he was talking about the longevity of the Roots, and he said one of the reasons that happened was Sunday, they called Sunday Waffle Day, and they wouldn't do anything related to their music. They would just go out for a late brunch and eat waffles for, a few hours and hang out. And he said that time of just not talking about music was very helpful because you do get to enjoy each other's friendship and camaraderie uh, without worrying about the note that was missed at the last show or something like that.
Yeah.
So it is interesting, but at the same time, when you're together, you might as well make it productive time. So,
Right.
like, why just sit around and chit chat when you could be working on another song or making another visual or brainstorming ideas.
Yeah, I think because we spend so much time together doing creative stuff, but then when we're not together, we just are sending each other ideas or like memes. Like we're kind of always talking to each other constantly, It's pathetic, really.
No, that's
Code,
Independence is awful.
that's great.
you know.
Now I kind of want to hop on and become a Patreon supporter because it seems like you just have fun together and then happen to also be creative and produce music, but that's not
Yeah.
every band is like that. Sometimes it's fighting drives the creativity instead of good times. But no, it
I
sounds like
think is what Yeah, definitely. I think it has to be that way because what we make is quite like macabre, dark stuff a lot of the time. So I think you have to combat that with quite our silly personalities, just day to day. While we make the videos that have guts in them and stuff, we let out all of that stuff. Again, it goes back to the therapeutic nature of kind of what we do, I think.
hmm it is funny talking to you. The first thing I thought after watching videos and listening to songs is, oh, well, they're just delightful human beings. Didn't necessarily expect that.
Where we let out all the rest of it is in music and videos, and then actually yeah, I think we're fairly chill. So
No,
Imagine if we didn't have the outlet though. Absolute psychopaths,
or imagine that we were like our music all the time.
intense. Who's got the energy? Who's got the
Not
energy
me.
level of angst constantly. I'd be running at traffic in the road. I'd lose my mind.
Yeah, it'd
uh,
be very sweaty.
that's fantastic. No, I love the idea of your shows are your theater, and you get to put on costumes and makeup and perform the theatrical performance, and then return to normal life. Uh,
Yeah,
I think
yeah,
I
it
think
gets
we've also always been very like there's no rules to anything that we do, to like the music or the visuals or anything. So apart from like when we make our own rules around like a certain project, but we've never like kind of started this off and been like, we are an emo band or we are a pop punk band. It's just whatever's cool to us in that moment is cool to us in that moment.
yeah. I would be very challenged to assign a genre or a style because it is emo, alternative, pop punk, and it's also none of any of those things at the same time.
Thank
Um,
you.
but
yeah. That's a big compliment. Thank you. It's high praise.
no, and just like I was talking about lyrically and song titles, My Kim kind of uh, took some license and told stories, uh, but yeah, the what am I thinking of? The mystic aspect of your lyrics into this genre is not something that you get to see every day. So I think it's a really compelling concept that you have for the band, even
Mm.
at the get-go. And
Yeah.
then the ambition of doing a conceptual album as your first full-length release is not something a lot of bands do. So
Yeah, it's kind of embedded in the DNA at this point because like even our early releases always had narrative strings attached. Like all the old videos and stuff all kind of had their own world that they lived in. So it's something we've always done is create these kind of stories to be the sort of the driving force of the tunes. And I think we just like it because we like so many different things, like different kinds of film and yeah, graphic novels and stuff. It's just nice to not be dull about it and to draw from different kind of art that you can put into the music because I don't know if it excites us, then we'll follow it. I guess that's the way.
I think also, I always say that I'm really like impressed by lyricists who can write in a very like literal sense when they're somewhere on a Wednesday and they like had a coffee stain on their shirt and everything. I'm like, that's really impressive. And I find it so much easier to write about like witches and everything's a metaphor. I just think that like being able to kind of hold on to that string and then be vulnerable through that is a lot easier than actually like saying what I mean.
no, I'm glad you shared that because in doing these interviews, one of the things I love is it's kind of like a research project for me. Like, how do you write your songs? Where do you get the ideas? And a lot of people are just writing about their own relationships, or they hear a stranger say a funny phrase and then write. And others are have a goal to write a fictional story, which has nothing to do with things they've heard and seen in their real lives. I I think that's fascinating. Just what makes you write these words? Where does that
Mm.
come from? Uh, and I
Quite,
agree with you. It's much easier to write about a topic that is over here.
Yeah,
yeah.
everything that we write is kind of based on experience, but we just kind of veil it in like tarot cards and swamp monsters and ghosts.
Kinky metaphors are the way, aren't they?
Mhm.
A lot of the time, the metaphors and stuff just give you a good vehicle in general to say things without saying that, or saying things you mean without being so overtly. Because sometimes, like, just saying what you mean, is that going to make a slapping chorus? Like, not all the time, but like you say, we always do hold, yeah, sort of, especially like Midwest emo bands and stuff that get to just say the most gut-wrenching things and have it work. I
Mhm.
think
I
certain,
think that's really impressive. But then
yeah,
when you put that down on a page, you're just like, no, no. What about ghosts though?
No,
interest you in a song about trolls.
I love it. I love it. My wife and I were just listening to, Led Zeppelin came on the radio, and the mention of Mordor and Gollum, and just these things like how on earth did they decide let's be a rock band and we're going to play blues oriented music and talk about mystical novels? Like, where did that, how do you get that? But
You wrote it down on paper as well. It sounds like trash, but for some reason it just worked. And I think it's authentic. I think that's the key because they were just into that stuff. And then you attract people who are also into that stuff. And I think it's not harder than that. I think that's it.
yeah, that does come across with Air Drawn Dagger, that you aren't just telling stories to tell stories, that it is part of your DNA and part of what you want to put out there. That yes, it's theatrical, but it's also your hearts and your minds fueling every aspect of the theater. I think it's wonderful.
Oh, thanks, man.
Thank you.
Well, for those watching that are not familiar with Air Drawn Dagger, airdrawndaggerband.com is the website, and that has links to your Patreon and all your socials and streaming platforms. So check out airdrawndaggerband.com. Lewis and Maisie, it's been fantastic visiting with you. I can't wait to see the documentary, which maybe by the time this is out, I will have already seen it. So we'll see. So thank you again for your time. Enjoy
Thank
visiting.
you for having us.